and gentlemen, without any further ado, we are going to move on, you know. We are going to move on to the substantive reason why I went live today. Head boy, front tight class, me general. I said something yesterday where, why may I tell you on Andre's show, may I tell you?
Head boy is my final call.
Yeah, man. Head boy said something yesterday, last night. Make me go do some digging. I started to dig, ladies and Colin Wagwan. I started to dig, and I dig and I dig and I dig, and I'm going to show you what I find. You understand? So make me your head boy have a say.
Right, Professor. I know this is what you call set a rat trap. Yeah? Because I remember I had a discussion with you one day on Midday Connections, and I spoke about this company called West Indies Petroleum. Yeah?
Yes.
And you know why Andrew Ness can't go home? Why Darrell Vass can't go home?
Yes.
Because you must look who is the chairman of the Factories Corporation.
Tanny Shirley.
What is his relationship to a principal director of West Indies Petroleum?
You tell me.
Is his brother.
Shirley, West Indies is the chairman of the SCJ. I did not know that. Who is Tanny Shirley? Furthermore, West Indies Petroleum. Who is Tanny Shirley's brother? I looked up these things. But let's continue. Let him finish.
And they have bought a petroleum processing, a refinery.
Yes.
Down in the Virgin Islands, which is one of the largest refineries in the Caribbean. It's larger than Petrochin in Trinidad and larger than Petrodam.
Just to remember that. Remember that refinery that he's talking about.
Bought a petroleum in the Virgin Islands, which is one of the largest refineries in the Caribbean. It's larger than Petrochin in Trinidad and larger than Petrodam. Yeah?
Yeah.
So why are these guys buying a refinery if they don't intend to do business in the Caribbean? Because where they go and buy the oil from them? Can't go Venezuela. Trinidad not really sell much oil. Yeah.
Yes.
So where they buy this refinery in expectation that the oil will become available in Jamaica. So we know for a fact that this United Oil and Gas, they have gone even to how it is that Darrell Vass don't know them, but yet though the Foreign Affairs Ministry is busy organizing a meeting at the British High Commission for investors to come and discuss about the potential oil find that they had in Jamaica.
Wow.
So somebody's lying, and there's no way the Foreign Affairs Ministry going have a discussion on oil if they know there's no oil in Jamaica. Yeah. So somebody's lying. But all the best, teacher. I know you're tired, so get some rest, my friend.
Well, like I said, everything that Edward just said, I took that very seriously. And I went to look up who these people are. And I came up with this. Ladies and gentlemen. First name on the ballot. Tommy Shirley. That is the man. 50 years of service, Jamaica private and public sector. Liliton is regarded as a visionary business leader in 2024. He was recognized for outstanding service to public and private sector with honor of Order Jamaica in 2017. He was awarded the Order of Distinction Commander Class. He serves as chairman of the Kingston Free Zone and director of the Port Authority of Jamaica. Linton has been chairman of the FCJ since 2016, leading the Public Relations and Marketing Committee and serving on the Corporation Governance, Finance, Human Resource and Administration, and IT committees. Right? West Indies Oil and Gas. But before we go there, this man right here is, I believe, Gordon Shirley, which is this man's brother, allegedly. Them call him Liton Tanny Shirley. Alright? Tanny Shirley. Now, what is the role of the FCJ? Where did I put that? What is the role of the FCJ? Did I put that? Did I write that down? No, yes, not. But it's allegedly this is his brother, right? So what I want to do is I want to play on their own website what West Indies Petroleum is, because I have to do this the right way, you know. This part, yes. The FCJ is the Factories Corporation of Jamaica. Let me carry it over here. So. The FCJ is the Factories Corporation of Jamaica. Alright? And is one of the drivers of government. Is one of the drivers of the government's Jamaica's economic growth and job creation agenda. We provide real estate solutions for a variety of industries such as manufacturing, agro-processing, warehousing, and distribution, and the global services sector, business process outsourcing. FCJ is one of the largest providers of real estate in Jamaica, with over 100 facilities island-wide, strategically situated, whether near the island's port or commercial districts. We provide standalone buildings. That's too far. We provide standalone buildings as well as spaces in industrial estate. Today, FCJ manages over 1.6 million square feet of industrial space for small, medium, and large enterprise facilities. Employment for approximately 5,868 individuals in a wide cross-section of industries. FCJ stands firm by our mission to safety, customer needs, and enhanced national development by providing quality industrial and commercial spaces at competitive rates, with the prospects that the global service sector, in particular business process outsourcing, now holds the organization the organization is embarking in another phase of expansion to cater to the industry. FCJ now developing projects which will be suitable for a special economic zone, says status, therefore expanding value-added activities for transnational manufacturing and distribution companies. Transnational. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I said to Google, is West Indies Petroleum a distribution company? Yes. West Indies Petroleum Limited is a major fuel distribution company in the Caribbean. Well, let's go to their website. Let's play this.
Fuel is the most important thing. It makes you able to go from one place to another. It's what drives every single industry. It's the backbone and cornerstone of literally everything that we as human beings do on this earth today.
There's one thing about fuel that's probably above everything else. It's consistent. Once there's commerce and there's movement, then it becomes a vital part of everybody's life. I don't see commerce and movement coming to an end, and so I think that fuel is here to stay for a very, very long time.
WIP fuels Jamaica behind the scenes. On a day-to-day basis, everybody uses fuel. You might see a truck passing you at the stoplight. Your assumption, all right, it's going to a gas station. That's not necessarily the case. WIP meets the demands of various persons in Jamaica. We have the commercial sectors, we have the industrial sectors. We have banks, we have people who own car rental places. We have persons who own trucks. Even the fisherman who needs to go and provide for his family, the taxi man you see on the road, all of them are being fueled by West Indies Petroleum.
We're different than other players in the market as we control our own destiny. We source a product, we store it, and we supply. We are not constrained by supply challenges as others are in the market.
WIP is a multi-dimensional company. We're in the Caribbean, we're in an island, don't have oil coming out of the ground or refineries in these places. Us having access to this terminal gives us a tremendous logistical advantage, which allows us to bring more cost-effective fuel into people's vehicles and into their generators and into their lives generally.
We are the largest non-government storage facility in Jamaica, and we say that with pride. We're situated right almost in central Jamaica. We can go on the highway, go north, south, east, west. We're situated in a very good position. We're probably the only terminal in Jamaica that operates how we operate. We operate 6 days out of the week to supply the local market. We actually start loading trucks at 3 a.m. on the dot every morning. We have a team here preparing from midnight, 1 a.m., dedicated workers from the terminal who see the same vision as the company to meet the needs of the customers.
West Indies Petroleum wasn't actually the start of the journey. I've been involved in fuel for maybe the better part of 30 years in Jamaica. I started a small wholesale distribution company. At that time, all our fuel was being purchased from our local refinery. West Indies Petroleum was kind of like we passed the baton on at a point when Gas Investments, which is the name of the former company, became large enough and expansive enough that we thought to enter in another segment of the fuel industry through West Indies Petroleum.
When we came into the marine industry, there was really just one supplier here. We came into the space recognizing that most of the ships that came to Jamaica don't actually take fuel here. We sort of upset the apple cart a little bit and went after vessels and companies that we knew had huge potential if we could find a way to bring the fuel here economically. And ultimately, this is why we acquired this terminal. We put in place the equipment like small vessels to deliver the fuel to them, and we created an industry that didn't really exist before. We really made the bunkering space a much bigger space in Jamaica, especially to the cruise lines who were very hungry to find new destinations in the Caribbean where they could take fuel.
Fuel in the future means evolving. WIP is basically trying to look into the future. We have to look further down the road, look at what the customer needs and Jamaica needs on a whole. As Jamaica develops and grows, we need to grow with them. We see their needs as our needs.
Fueling the future expresses where we think we are and where we're going to be. Obviously, the fuel of today is on the minds of everybody in terms of carbon intensity and in terms of global warming. We're here today playing a very important role providing the fuel that drives everybody's lives, but we think about the future and understand that as that changes, that we'll be there to provide whatever that fuel might be.
See what go on. People, when you get the likes up, man. Get the likes up, man. Show some appreciation for the work, man. Get the likes up. So this is West Indies. This is West Indies petroleum, right? Whip. And Gordon Shirley is allegedly, according to Head Boy, is allegedly the chairman of the SCG's brother, Tony Shirley. I'm not suggesting nothing. I'm just saying FCJs has to deal with these types of companies, isn't it? So only can deduce, only want to deduce from that. Now, we're going to move on to some more evidence that I found interesting. Yes? We can pause this. I'll move on to some more evidence that I found very interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Alright? Oh, no. That one can be left alone. That one can be left alone. That one can be left alone. This is the page. Gordon Shirley. Yes. This is their page. Alright. Chairman. So he's the chairman of WHIP. Just for evidence, you know. Looked it up. Alright. Do you guys remember this? The Morant Bay situation? You remember what Andre said about that area and potential oil? Go watch this back. I'm not even gonna play it. Go watch that back. Alright? Go watch that. I don't want to be thrown off too much. Go watch that back. No. This is a part of it that is interesting. Where's the article? Oh, you gotta be shit. What? So, uno two? Oh no! Bro, don't play with me. I found the article. I found an article, right? That on the Daily. That spoke about WHIP owning, denying owning. So them just do me like that. Oh God. West Indies Petroleum owning refining company. Allegation. The Daily. Let's see if it comes up. See it here. Yo, nobody go on like so no want to style me in a bridge. I don't want to hear nothing about no monthly fee, bro. I read the article. Oh man. Why me can't find it somewhere else? Jesus. Sign up. Man, I ain't got no time for that. I wished I screen recorded this. I really do. I wish I screen recorded. This is ridiculous. It's actually crazy. Oh. Now it's not even going back to Google. West Indies, right? You must find another article. Stunning defense, Jamaican base has. So the Observer, yes, okay. This was okay, wonderful. The Observer has it. The Observer has it. Nice. Now, the argument that Headboy made is that they own this refining company, right? And that argument he's making where's Lorraine? Lorraine, nobody throw me off in a Lord God. Where's it? Alright, anyway. So this large refining company, obviously a refinery is used to get the different levels of to maximize what they can get from the raw oil find, right? So his argument is that if the potential was not real for oil to be found in Jamaica, why would West Indies Petroleum Limited be buying a oil refinery, such a large one in the Virgin Islands? Now, according to I'm not saying that they didn't, I'm saying that's the argument that Head Boy made. Now, according to this, ladies and gentlemen, in a stunning turn of events, the Jamaican-based West Indies Petroleum Limited has denied ownership of the Lime Tree Bay Refinery in St. Croix, United States Virgin Islands. The Virgin Islands Consortium published in a June 22 article that WIP denied its interest in the refinery. Big up all of the new
Subscribe to the channel. Tell me Diddy was touching on your leg while you were sitting right here on this couch. Trying to, but I seen him before. Diddy, get the hell out of the studio.
Where you said Sylvia lost her life for that piece of family land. The oil is in the Kobe LAB area. Lord of mercy. Boy, Father God help me. This is too much. Anyway, not my word, people. I'm just reading the comments. It says here that the Virgin Islands Consortium, June 22 article, denied in the interest of the refinery, which was purchased for US 62 million in late January. WIP Incorporated in 2012 started the ship bunkering business in the Caribbean and Latin America region, but has since expanded into final petroleum products, and it's targeting regional expansion. What is more regional expansion than oil being found in Jamaica while a Jamaican company is here? So I see, they denied that they bought the company, right? But it would make sense if they did. If the oil prospects in Jamaica is that serious, it would make sense if they did. West Indies Petroleum Limited wishes to clarify that, contrary to media reports, it is not the stakeholder in the Lime Tree Bay Refinery in St. Croix in the US Virgin Islands, and was not the entity which purchased the refinery, although an initial participant in the early bidding process. Due to the legal factors, WIPL elected not to further pursue the initiative. What that is saying, ladies and gentlemen, is that they were early bidders, but due to some type of legal issue, they elected to not pursue it. That's what they said. Alright? I'm just, see Fisher big up. That's what they said. Grace Lewis big up. Right? It says further, those factors also constrained WIPL from commenting sooner about the inaccurate report in the media. In response, WIP provided to the consortium and the other media entities in June. When the Caribbean Business Report reached out to Senior Vice President of WIP, Danville Walker, that name is very, very popular, isn't it? Danville Walker, for comment on the matter, he said he could not comment at the time and would respond once certain events have passed first. WIP listed 5.6 billion or US 36.3 million in preference shares on the Jamaica stock market, private market, on December 31st. A Virgin Islands Daily News article had WIP response stating that the sale of the Lime Tree Refinery was successful. Closed earlier this year by Port Hamilton Refining and Transportation, which is a consortium of the United States and Caribbean-based investors. The United States Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, right, EPA, in a notification on its website stated that WIP and Port Hamilton were the joint winners of the refinery in an auction held in bankruptcy court in December 21st. Mighty God, we need a divine intervention with island people. My John Wagwan.
Emotional, damn it!
Let me read that again. A Virgin Islands news article had whip response stating the sale of the Lime Tree Bay Refinery was successfully closed earlier this year by Port Hamilton Refining and Transportation, which is a consortium of the United States and Caribbean-based investors. The United States EPA, in a notification on the United States Environmental Protection Agency, on its website, stated that WIP and Port Hamilton were the joint winners of the refinery in an auction held in bankruptcy court in December 2021. In a letter sent to WIP and Port Hamilton on March 2nd, EPA summarized a number of requirements that had to be met before starting the refinery in a subsequent letter sent on March 22nd. EPA stated that based on strong indicators, the refinery would need to be obtained to prevention of significant deterioration permit prior to the potential startup of the refinery operations. So we'll on there. Why is EPA sending WIP? Get us to 300 likes, guys. Why is EPA sending WIPL a letter, right, about how to restart the refinery? Details. Why are they sending them a letter? I'm just asking, is the EPA, the United States Environmental Protection Agency, are they so misinformed, ladies and gentlemen, that they got this so wrong? Because according to them, EPA is a joint, owner of the refinery, to the point where they send them a letter March 2nd and March 22nd. I want to make it very, very clear. I am not saying that WIPL, right, has any ownership to the refinery. I'm asking the question based off the article. Why is EPA, United States Environmental Protection Agency, is so misinformed? Remember, they are supposed to protect the environment, Where did they get the information to send a letter to WIPL? Something just ain't right. Something ain't right, baby. This don't look good. It don't smell good. It don't sound good. Something just ain't right. And this was from 2021. 2021, ladies and gentlemen. It moves on to say that the refinery had its operation paused in June 2021 after EPA said that multiple air emissions incidents due to imminent and substantial endangerment to public health or welfare of environment posed by refineries continued operation. Lime Tree Bay Refine LLC filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in the United States after its operations were paused. WIP's bid surpassed St. Croix Energies, which had bid US 57 million, consisting of US 30 million cash up front. Wow! The refinery, so they might talk about the bid where WIPL put out, So they had interest. The refinery has a capacity of 646,000 barrels per day. Now that's a big ass refinery. 7 billion barrels of oil. 646,000 barrels per day. Interesting. Let's move on. Former WIP director Courtney Wilkinson and John Levy are set to return to Kingston and St. Andrew Parish later this month on charges relating to what? Cybercrime? Oh, wait a minute. What the hell is going on? What is this? What is this? What is this? I didn't even get to read this article. What is going on here, man? Did they say the former WIP director, the former director of West Indies Petroleum, Courtney Wilkinson and John Levy, are set to return to Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court later this month on charges relating to Cybercrimes Act? Both men are still shareholders in WIP despite being removed as directors.
What did you say, bro? Come on, man.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
What can go so? What can go so? What can go so?
What the hell? Oh my God, no way.
Embarrassing. He needs some milk.
I did not read this article until a while ago. I did not read this article. Remember, the original article that I wanted to show, it did not come up. See there? God always working in mysterious ways. I could not get this article in the Daily News for the Virgin Islands to come up about the situation. And I found a Jamaican newspaper. Wanna listen to this? Listen to this. Mighty God of Daniel, take the wheel. Now me have to go look up them two brother. Courtney Wilkins and John Levy. What is their position? What them there right now with things? Me go look. Make me go look. Google. Make me go look and see what going on with them brother. Cause this not safe. This not safe none at all. And I want you guys to look at this because see, this is 2022. US 200 million cash on for St. Crux Refinery. The same refinery, ladies and gentlemen. The refinery is in high demand, I wonder why. I wonder why this refinery is in such high demand. I one of the biggest refinery in the Caribbean. I wonder why it's in such high demand. Very interesting. This was a video to show how oil is refined and why it's refined. Is to get different products from the oil. But let's go to Google, cause this is a on the spot research right now, about these two gentlemen. I want to know if them still involved in a WIP. Yes, I think that's a fair question. And what were the result of their charges of cybercrime? What was the results? Is it done? Is it still in court? Let's see. Come on, open up, man. Open up. Open up, open up. Take long to open me, man. So this is which date? What is this? I'm gonna go back to the article. This is 2021. When was this article? Dates are very. Oh, this is 2022. All right. When is this article? Okay, 2022. So this is July, and this is July. By Indies Petroleum is seeking preservation orders pending the determination of this appeal. The appeal arises out of its unsuccessful application for similar orders before the judge of the Commercial Division of the Supreme Court. Its notice of application. So Courtney Wilkinson and John Levy, respondents. Okay. Pending an appeal to maintain and preserve data information. Oh, interesting. Escalation and modification of access. Unauthorized access, escalation and modification of access. All electronic data in any format. Emails. Self-employees involved in correspondence. Yeah, this one is bigger than my pay grade, guys. This one is bigger than my pay grade. I ain't lying. Oh, here we go. So it says here 2 Kingston businessmen have been arrested and charged with breaches of Cybercrimes Act following an interview present with lawyers, unauthorized access to computer program data, conspiracy to gain unauthorized access, conspiracy to access with intent to commit or facilitate the commission of offense, conspiracy to unauthorized modification of computer program data. It is alleged that businessmen who were at the time company directors gained unauthorized access to the emails of the company's CEO and 3 other senior WIP staff members. It is alleged that the men were assisted by 36-year-old IT specialist Winston Henry, who was charged for similar offenses. They are all granted bail and a sum of $400,000. No, man, this serious. This appears to be that those gentlemen, did double IP something wrong. You know. So yeah, that's interesting. But what is the result of this case? Is what I want to know. What is the result? Is it the case of or the case against? I want to know the status. What is the status of the case against Complex involving multiple legal proceedings and outcomes? Here's a breakdown. Wilkins and Levy was formerly freed from cybercrime charges. Jamaica cleaner were originally charged for breaches of Cybercrime Act. Winston Henry and the IT specialists were also charged in the same case. Charges stem from alleged blah blah blah. Claims against Wilkins and Levy along with other defendants was was state pending in the outcome of litigation in St. Lucia. West Indies Petroleum filed against West Indies Petroleum Limited filed a claim against Wilkinson and Levy along with others. Oh, so it's like I said, they were okay. All right, we can move along. We can move along, people. We can move along. Can move along. This is another article that had to deal with the whole situation with the refinery. You know. But I think it's very interesting. I think it's something that other people that can do better research can go and do some digging for themselves. I'm not the best researcher. Alright. So we have to keep an eye on the refinery. The Virgin Islands refinery. Walk one win some. Splash did you see in that place, pick up yourself. Seeing Lorraine. Whereas a Bolo all know a pure general ship I go around this isle that them hiding from us. I want to big up Mr. Lonesome say the isle not find it. You see me? I don't know. But you know, I believe that half does not one, half does not the other. You know, if it completely gossip, but it can't near gossip. You know what I mean? Because there was a young lady that called. Oh, and what it make me know what to think about the research I'm find on Tanny Shirley and FCJ and the West Indies Petroleum Limited. We can do our own research. I believe it's something that we really need to look into, because oil possibly being in Jamaica, who is going to benefit? You know, will they do it in such a way where we the people benefit? You know, do they want to secure? Do they want me to? Do they want to secure monies for people outside Jamaica and not Jamaicans? Will we benefit substantially from a possible oil find? I mean, the way how things are going right now, our children and our people are being kicked off the beaches and the coastlines and the rivers and the attractions where they make money. You know. So will it be only people in the know, the quote-unquote 12 families, the connected, that could benefit from a possible oil find? And Andre said something very significant. If they use the satellites and they're looking at these potential seeps and areas that it has good potential based off the satellite findings, to the point where they are advertising for people to invest in this venture, then we can also speculate that if they was to strike black gold, how would regular Jamaicans benefit? And I'll go even further. Is there a push, education-wise, to train young men and women in a possible area of growth where oil is concerned? Like Jamaican people working in those drill areas. Jamaican, qualified, trained Jamaicans. Is there any preparation for that from the government? Or are they going to just, oil and gas is responsible for that, and they're going to pay their own people, and we are not going to earn from the drilling? isn't a situation like that supposed to provide like, I don't know, 100,000 jobs? And I'm talking about job you paying good money. Where after 5 years, just based off you working at those drill points, you're supposed to be like multiple millionaire. Nora, how you doing? Yeah? So I don't know, man. These are just some questions off the top of my head the way I've been looking at this. So yeah. Let me know what y'all think about that.